A career night, a once-in-a-lifetime moment. It is highly unlikely we ever see another performance like this from Angel Reese. It should have been a moment of celebration. Angel Reese Sr., better known as Mama Reese, she should have been clapping back at the haters so hard on social media that her hands were raw. Well, Casey, are you talking about the Chicago Bravado's win over the female Sons of Connecticut? That was a huge win. No, although that is very rare too. Hell, the Bravado struggled to win a quarter in pretend basketball, much less winning an actual game. I'm talking about Angel Reese recording a triple-double, an actual triple-double. This was not like her mythical streak of double-doubles last year where Angel Reese would collect 10 rebounds off of 10 missed layups. Angel Reese had legitimate double figures in points, rebounds, and assists yesterday, but unfortunately, no one cares. Because once again, Angel Reese allowed her uncontrollable temper to overshadow winning the lottery. Before we go any further, I'm sure there's a little bit of an echo. I'm trying to work it out. We're here in Nashville for basically the rest of the month. The house has extremely tall ceilings along with hardwood floors, which is a content creator's nightmare. It's the perfect recipe for an echo, so just please bear with me. I'm hoping it's not too bad, but I'm doing what I can to minimize it. You know, growing up, my mom had a phrase every time I got in trouble, which was damn near every day. She had this saying that always pissed me off: your reputation precedes you. I remember one summer, I was probably 11 or 12 years old. Me and my friends were bored, so we strategized to come up with what we thought was a brilliant prank. There was a kid on our street that didn't really fit in with the rest of us. He was a weird kid, but he grew up to be a good dude. We called in an order of pizza, had it delivered to his house. Now, this was back when you didn't pay online or pay over the phone. You actually paid for the pizza once it was delivered to your front door. We hid in the bushes across the street with paintball guns, waiting for the pizza guy. Pizza guy pulls onto the street. He thought he was in a war zone. A group of prepubescent boys are lighting his car up with paintballs. Now, obviously, he was pissed. He was ready to kick our ass, and we obviously got busted. After that, if there was any sign of trouble, my parents automatically assumed I was guilty. I could be innocent and still be guilty. Not only was I not given the benefit of being innocent until proven guilty, they also assumed I was the ringleader. I would plead my innocence, and sometimes, even though it was extremely rare, I actually was innocent. But it didn't matter. Didn't matter. My mom would always say, your reputation precedes you. When I saw the clip of Angel Reese fighting, when I saw the biggest moment of her career in pretend basketball overshadowed, I thought of that aggravating phrase that I heard countless times from my mother throughout my teenage years. Your reputation precedes you. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel in the description below. Later today on the second channel, going to be talking about the New York Mets disrespecting the national anthem. Disrespecting the national anthem seems to be an ongoing trend in Major League Baseball. This afternoon here on the main channel, we'll be talking about the Dodgers allowing some unknown singer to perform the national anthem in Espanol. So if you haven't already, click the link in the description below, subscribe to the second channel. Something that often happens in the WNBA dump that we don't normally see in real basketball, besides the missed layups, airballed free throws, and general lack of athleticism. Something that happens in the WNBA that we don't see in the NBA is players having their hair pulled. Pretend basketball players will go up for a rebound, and instead of grabbing the ball, they'll rebound a handful of hair. Sometimes the hair is natural, other times it resembles the synthetic version made famous by the Wicked Weave Joy Reid. Sometimes it appears to be intentional, but most of the time it's unintentional. It's an accident. The point is, it's not uncommon. Now, yesterday, the Chicago Bravado, they were in Connecticut to play the female Suns. Angel Reese continued her season-long tradition of not selling out games. There were more people at the pool in the casino than there were watching this action-packed game of pretend basketball, but that's okay. Because Angel Reese and the Bravado did manage to break one of their season-long traditions yesterday. Not only did they manage to not get their ass kicked, they were also able to win a game. According to my calculations, that gives the Bravado a grand total of 3 wins this season. This also helped the WNBA to figure out a formula of success for Angel Reese. All they got to do is schedule the Bravado against the worst teams in the league. If the Bravado were allowed to compete against the Dallas Wankers and the female Sons of Connecticut, they would be undefeated. At some point during the third quarter, there was a commotion in the conference room of the casino. Initially, people thought the commotion was caused by a mass exodus of people leaving this painfully boring game. But as it turns out, the disturbance was coming from the pretend basketball players. One of the unknown female Suns went up for a rebound and grabbed Angel Reese by the hair. Naturally, Angel Reese lost her temper. Watch it for yourself. Was Angel Reese justified in her response? Was this a valid reason to lose your temper? Probably. I mean, I've never had long hair, but if I did and someone yanked on my ponytail, I would be pissed off about it too. But the problem for Angel Reese, your reputation precedes you. Is it fair? Probably not, but it's reality. Angel Reese is not the first hothead to have every altercation over-exaggerated and over-analyzed. Angel Reese isn't the first athlete to be treated differently based on past behavior. 20 or so years ago, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, they were criticized for damn near everything. Taunting, celebrating in the end zone, comments to the media after the game. Everything they did or said was over-dramatized because of who they were and their history of behavior. Meanwhile, Joe Horn celebrates a touchdown on Sunday Night Football by pulling a cell phone out of the goalpost. No one cares. Now, while the criticism of Angel Reese might be unfair, it's damn sure not unearned. Instead of talking about her triple-double, instead of talking about Angel Reese being one of the youngest players to ever record a triple-double in pretend basketball, the only thing people are talking about today with Angel Reese is her losing her temper. A couple of weeks ago, Bob Griner also lost her temper. She fouled out of a game against Caitlin Clark and the Feminine Felines from Indiana. When Bob got to the bench, her friends Cheech and Chong did not have the bong ready. Without God's special creation to calm her down, Bob Griner ended up lashing out and allegedly referred to Caitlin Clark as a fucking white girl. Now, this happened 3, maybe 4 weeks ago. It shouldn't have been a big story, should have been no big deal. The problem is, the diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelbert, made it a big deal. Before the season, the Dump Diva launched a new initiative in the WNBA. No space for hate. No space for hate. She wasted no time implementing this doofus policy by immediately investigating Caitlin Clark fans on claims of mythical racism, claims that were eventually disproven and deemed mythical. But with Bob Griner, the WNBA refused to investigate. Not only did they refuse to investigate, they wouldn't give press credentials to media outlets like Outkick who would actually ask Bob Griner about the incident. Over the weekend, the Dump Diva finally issued press credentials to Outkick, a decision I would assume she immediately regretted. Yesterday, Dan Zakshewski, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing his name, Danny Z from Outkick yesterday. He was finally allowed to question Bob Griner. Now, the first clip in his exchange with Bob Griner, it was before the masculine dreamers from Atlanta played the Washington Mythicals. The second clip is Danny Z questioning Bob Griner after the game, after Bob had 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours to think of a logical response. Watch for yourself.
A few weeks ago, you fouled out of an Indiana Fever game. Cameras caught you saying something on the bench. It's hard to tell what you said. Can you tell us what you said?
I remember fouling out, being mad.
What did you say?
I really can't remember what I said, honestly.
If I showed you the video, would that help?
No, it wouldn't help.
He said you didn't remember what you said during that viral moment after you fouled out against the Indiana Fever. A lot of people believe what you said was effing white girl or effing white girls. Is it possible that's what you said?
No, would never say that. Like, there's no place for that in our league. Wouldn't say that.
So even though you can't remember, you know that was not what you said.
I know it wasn't that because I wouldn't use that type of language.
Me personally, I never thought this was a big deal. Bob Griner allegedly referring to Caitlin Clark as a white girl in a moment of frustration, I didn't think it was a big deal. The problem is, the WNBA made it a big deal by making everything about race. For decades, Eminem has been referred to in rap culture as the white boy. You'll hear rappers say all the time, "I don't want beef with the white boy. He will destroy you on a diss track." But the WNBA has made it their mission to amplify race. So minor things like Bob Griner referring to Caitlin Clark as the white girl gets exaggerated. All Bob Griner had to do was say, I was mad, I was frustrated, I'd fouled out of the game and I voiced my frustration. I didn't mean anything by it. Caitlin is a great player. I respect her and what she's done for our dump. That's it. That's all she had to say. Instead, Bob emulates our good friend Georgie Bush, W, and claims that she misremembers. Then she claims there's no space for hate. There's no space for hate, in a very masculine voice. It doesn't make sense. Just own it. But if I had to guess, Brittney Griner is afraid to own it because she's afraid it would turn into something that it's not. And it's not conservative media's fault, it's the WNBA's fault for making everything about race. But give me your thoughts on this. Angel Reese's career night is overshadowed by Angel Reese losing her temper. Was her anger justified? Also, give me your thoughts on Brittney Griner pretending she doesn't remember the comments that she allegedly made about Caitlin Clark. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.